Hey there, everybody. I want to talk to you about articles in this video. I know articles are very tricky, so I hope this video can be clear for you and help you a little bit or a lot. So articles are these words, a and the, and even nothing. It's not technically an article, but a lot of times we have nothing before a noun, okay? So we use these words before nouns. And remember, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. So sometimes we will want to say that we have one of something. And when we do that, we can use a or an. By using a or an, we are basically saying there is one of something, like one marker. I could also say a marker, okay? So a or an just means one, okay? But there's a lot more to that than just knowing that, okay? A and an can only be used with count nouns, okay? They're only used with count nouns. Very important, most important thing to know, okay? A count noun is a noun that you can count. So, like this marker, one marker, two markers, okay? Some nouns you cannot count, like paper, right? I can't say one paper, two papers. I mean, sometimes you can, that's why it's hard. But, you know, certain nouns you don't count. Some you do, okay? I'll talk a lot more about non-count nouns in another video, okay? But for a and an, we use that with count nouns when it's just one of those, okay? So a marker, a board, a video, okay? Now, if it's two of those things, we can't say a or an anymore. I cannot say a video, I say two videos. I give you the number, okay? Now, what is the difference between a and an if they have the same meaning? The difference is that a is used with sounds, not letters, sounds, that are consonant sounds, okay? And I will explain that. An is used with vowel sounds, okay? So what does that mean? A vowel is A, E, I, O, U, okay? A, E, I, O, U. We have 5 vowels, letters in English, but in reality, we actually have like 13 because we have many different sounds, 13 or more or less, depending on where you live, that are vowel sounds, okay? So it's not the letter that you're looking for. It's the sound, okay? A consonant is everything else. A consonant is like B, C, D, F, G, all the other sounds in the alphabet that are not a vowel. Okay, so I will use a when the word after a starts with a consonant sound, like this. This is a marker, and is the first sound of the word marker, and is a consonant sound, okay? So I will say a marker, okay? Now, over here with the vowel, let's say I want to talk about my apartment. I want to say I live in an apartment. Why is it an? An apartment, because the word apartment starts with a vowel sound. Okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do though is now explain why this gets hard. So we can say a marker, right? But I can add an adjective before this noun, right? So I can say old, okay? Old marker. Now, this article has to match this word's first letter sound. So now it's not a marker, it's an old marker. Why? Why do we need an? Because the first letter sound is a vowel sound, okay? Just like this one. We said an apartment, right? An apartment, because apartment is a vowel sound, so we need an. But if I put an adjective before that word apartment, I need to make sure the adjective matches this article, okay? Nice. A nice apartment, or an nice apartment. It should be a nice apartment or a nice apartment, because the letter N is not a vowel. The letter N is a consonant sound. Okay? All right. So now let's talk about some more exceptions and why this gets so fun. So the letter U and the letter H. Remember, it's not about the letter, it's about the sound, okay? And English is a little crazy. We have lots of sounds inside one letter, right? Like the letter A has like 3 different sounds. It's not just one sound, okay? It would be much easier if it were one sound, okay? And this is why spelling in English is so hard, okay? So the letter U has a few different sounds too. And one of the sounds sounds like y, right? Y is not a vowel sound. That's a consonant. Y is a consonant, okay? So some words will say like university, right? University, or unique. So these sounds, university, unique. That's a Y sound. That's not a vowel. That's not a E, I, O, U, any of those vowel sounds, okay? So because it's a consonant sound, not a vowel sound, even though it's a vowel, U is a vowel, but it's not about the letter, it's about the sound. Then we need to say a university, a unique person, okay? Now, what if I use the letter U, but the sound is or okay? Because it has those sounds too. So what if I say ugly apartment, okay? Ugly apartment. That's actually a U sound, okay? So a U sound is a vowel. So here we have to say an ugly apartment. Okay, another example of the sound Y, right, is in this word, for example. European, a person from Europe. European, y. What does that sound? That's a Y sound again. But wait, look at the letter. It's an E. Doesn't matter. I know that's a vowel. Listen to the sound. European. So that's a Y sound. It's not a vowel sound. So therefore, we're going to say a European, not an European. It's a European. Okay? All right, let's move on to the letter H. here we have hour and we have haircut, okay? So, hour. If you hear that, there's no H, there's no consonant. It's ow. That's a vowel, okay? So therefore, because it's a vowel sound, we need an hour, an hour, an hour, okay? Here, haircut, haircut. That's the consonant sound, right? So here it's a haircut, a haircut. Okay, so just be careful with those little tricky situations. I can't remind you enough that it's not about the letter that you see, it's about the sound of that letter. So how will you know what sound a letter makes? Well, you need to listen to people talk. You need to talk to people. And you need to watch movies and things like that and engage with the language. And after a while, you will start to recognize and it will start to become automatic for you. If you don't have people to talk to, you can also just Google the word and click the pronunciation and hear it like that. Okay? All right, now let's talk a little bit about the word the. Okay, so now remember, a and an, the articles a and an, are only really used before countable nouns, ones that you can count when you want to say there is one of them, okay? So we use a and an to say there's one of something, and it doesn't need to be something specific. I don't have to know which marker you're talking about. You can just say that you have a marker. I've never seen it before. It doesn't matter. You have one of them, okay? So a and an is used for count nouns when you want to say there's one, but it's also used to talk about things that are not specific for me or you. I don't know what it is. It's just any marker. It's just a random generic marker. Okay, I don't know which thing you're talking about. You just have one, okay? But the word the is also an article, and with the word the, we use it when we are being specific for the most part about things, okay? So maybe you told me, you say, I have a marker. And I say, oh, wow, great marker. Let me see it. You bring it here. Say, wow, I can't say a marker anymore. Now I say, yeah, the marker is really nice. I have to say the second time because it's now something I know. It's something that I am familiar with. It is specific to me. Okay, it's called definite. It's definite. It's something I know. Whereas a and an is indefinite. It's just anything. Okay, but the is something I know and something you know, and it is specific, right? Okay, so we use the word the when some noun is something I know and that you know, and we can talk about it together because we know this thing. We already know it, okay? So just to explain the difference now, okay, I can say, I read a book. I read a book. Which book? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a book. Any book in the whole wide world, okay? But I read the book. That means I am talking about a very specific book that you know as well. Maybe before we talked about it and I told you I was going to read it and I read it. So I say, hey, I read the book. It was really great. When I say the book, you know I'm talking about the book we already talked about, okay? So that's the difference between a and, the big difference. A is for indefinite things. Things I don't know, doesn't matter, it's just one, okay? The is used for definite things. I already know it, you know what it is, it's specific to both of us, okay? So here's another example. I took a class. Do you know which class I took? No, you don't. And I didn't tell you. I just said I took a class. Any class. It doesn't matter. It's just a class. One class, okay? I could even say I took a computer class. Still, it's not specific. You don't know which one, and it doesn't really matter. I just want you to know that I took one computer class. Any one computer class out there. But now you know I took a computer class. You know because I just told you. So, if I keep talking about that class, the next time I say something, I'm not going to say a class because you already know which class, the one I said here. Now I will say the class was good. I'm saying the because I know you already know which one I'm talking about, and it's this one that I mentioned or said earlier, okay? So that's what the is for, okay? And there is so much more. Oh my gosh. So much more that you will go crazy with the word the. And I should make a video, and I will, on the, just the, okay? So I'm not going to say more about it because there's so much more to say. I just want you to understand the is for something specific, okay? But there are so many annoying, yes, they're annoying. They're annoying for people learning English. Annoying exceptions to this word, the, okay? I can just say they're idiomatic expressions with the, okay? But the other thing you need to know about the is this. This is the beautiful thing about the word the. You can use it with a count noun, like you can say the book. Book is one, it's countable. I can say the book, okay? You can use it with a non-count noun, like the air. The air. Air is not countable, okay? The air is nice today. Not really. I'm in LA. It's not nice. The air. The. Okay? Also, get this. You can use it with plural forms of count nouns. Like the books. Okay? And that's why it's amazing, because you can use it with any type of noun. Count, non-count, singular, plural. What I'm saying is that this rule is clear. It's clear. But what's not clear is which nouns are count and which are non-count. And to remember that, okay? So you really need to learn about count and non-count nouns, okay? Which is what I'm going to talk about right now. So the first thing I want to say is that, well, count nouns are count nouns. You can count them. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. A count noun can use a or an if there's one. And a count noun can use s at the end of it if it's plural. So again, a marker, markers, okay? Non-count nouns cannot do that. You cannot ever probably put a or an before a non-count noun. I cannot say a furniture. I cannot say a jewelry, okay? And you can never make them plural. I cannot say furnitures. I cannot say jewelries, okay? So there are different ways to understand how to remember non-count nouns. And the first way is to remember that some non-count nouns are big groups, or you can say wholes, that have inside of them little parts, like furniture. Furniture is a whole. It has little parts inside of it. What types of furniture can be part of that group? Chair, table, bed, desk. Those are all count nouns. But furniture is this big group. It's the whole, and you can't count it. You cannot say a furniture or furnitures. No. Okay. Another whole is jewelry. Okay. That is the group. Okay. And inside that group are little pieces, types of jewelry, like necklace, bracelet, earring, right? Those are countable. 5 earrings, 2 bracelets, okay? But jewelry is not, all right? There's more. I like these ones because my students talk about these things a lot, so you should know. Vocabulary, grammar, homework, non-count. You cannot say, I learned 2 new vocabularies today. No, it's non-count. But that's because it's a whole that inside of it has different types. What are the different types of vocabulary? There's academic vocabulary, words. There's non-academic vocabulary words. There's idioms. There's nouns, verbs, adjectives. So all of this is part of vocabulary, right? Grammar. Grammar is a big group that has little parts. Verbs, action, non-action verbs, present perfect. There's so much grammar. You know that, okay? Non-count. Homework. You can't say I have a homework today. No, it's a homework assignment. But that's because homework is a big group with lots of little parts inside of it, like a paper, an exercise, a reading, right? Parts. And there's many more. It's amazing how many types of non-count nouns there are. So you can have fun with that and Google it. There's plenty of them, but I just wanted to explain that concept. The other thing that will help you to remember the different types of non-count nouns is this. If you can remember these categories, liquids, nature, and abstract things, okay? So, for example, liquids, water, right? Okay. Gasoline, when you go fill up your tank, okay? We call it gas in the United States. So I can't say I got 5 gases. I say I got gas. Or I need oil in my car. I don't say I need oils. Oil, right? Milk, tea, all these things, they are non-count, they're liquids, okay? In nature, we have, think about all the weather we have. We have sun. Sun is sunshine, right? That's non-count. We have rain, right? We have snow. These things are non-count. I cannot say I had a lot of rains today outside, no. And then abstract is just like things that you can't touch, like these idea nouns, like love, right? Love, happiness, honesty, health, kindness, these things that you can't touch, but they are nouns. And there's more, just a few more, just to give you the idea. Solids are things that are solid, right? That you can't, that you can, they're hard, okay? So like cheese, bread, these things we don't count. Cheese, types of cheese, bread, okay? Gases, things like pollution in the air. I don't know, you can say smog too. Air, smoke. These things we don't count this way. We can't make them plural, and we can't say a or an. So we just went over some non-count nouns and ways to remember what they are. But I want you to know that not all non-count nouns are always non-count nouns. Sometimes a non-count noun can also be a count noun, but the meaning changes. So for example, the word fish. If we're talking about eating that animal, right? You can say, I ate fish for dinner. Non-count. I ate fish for dinner. But if you want to say that you went to the store and bought one to put inside your fish tank, you can say, I bought a fish, right? Like with these examples. I ate fish, non-count. I got a fish from the store to put in my fish tank. Glass, glass, it's what's, the windows are made from glass, right? We can say the glass in the window, you can say there is glass in the window, on the floor. Glass, it's non-count, okay? But I can say I had a glass of water. Here, I'm not talking about the actual solid thing. I'm talking about a cup, but we say a glass sometimes. So you can see the meaning changes here. It changes here. And here with time. Time can be something that is non-countable, right? Like I can say, I spent time working today, right? I spent time. You can't say I spent a time. It's I spent time. But when you want to talk about how many times you've done something or gone somewhere, it can be countable. So I went there many times. So here times and here time have different meanings. This one is referring to time on a clock. This one is referring to visits, a vacation or something, okay? So those are the little exceptions that you should be aware of and that you will learn as you continue working with the language. If you want to know how to count a non-count noun, you need to learn how to use quantifiers. So I will have a video on quantifiers next, and there you can watch and learn how to count these non-count nouns. You will also learn different words to count nouns in the quantifiers video. So, see you there.